Prepare.
Well, a lot of stuff has happened after the last video. Like, shit has gone insane. And you may be asking, okay, what the fuck are you talking about? Are you being schizophrenic again? Are you being a psycho again? Well, we are back talking about the Deme controversy, and to give you a summarization on what happened, why are we at the position we are now. Well, Deme is a VTuber, yeah, it's already gay and cringe, and there's nothing special with these women being VTubers. Like, they're all kind of the same. They all act the same, like, oh, I'm so cutesy, I'm a cute little girl, oh, I'm cute, I'm gonna promote myself to the pedal audience. Like, you know, they're all kind of the same. There's nothing really special. But one thing that made this VTuber in particular very special and made her get involved in a pretty massive VTuber scandal, a massive VTuber controversy in the autistic pedophile anime community. And you may ask, okay, what could be something that's so horrible and it's so insane that it got these people mad, it got them very angry, it made them see red? Well, because she dared say something horrible, something horrendous, something that no one should ever say. And what could be that thing? Well, she decided to say that she's completely fine with people drawing her sexy, but she is not fine with people drawing her in porn. Oh! The horror, what an evil thing! And because a woman had standards, okay, the anime people got mad and they decided to say, how dare you not be a whore and sell yourself out, bitch? Well, Tectone was saying like, well, she's asking for it, she's asking to be drawn, for people to draw porn of her. Like, yeah, Tectone, the rape allegations are not helping there. You're totally not beating them. And that led to also cheap reviews involving himself, calling her a hypocrite by saying, well, if you're against people drawing porn of you, why do you repost this picture? Well, the screenshot he provides was cropped, making it look pornographic, while if you look at the original over here, it is not pornographic. Yeah, it's spicy, but not pornographic, so it doesn't make her a hypocrite at all. And that led to her responding to him, calling him a fucking cock. He crashed the fuck out, and now we're at the situation we are now. But getting that all out of the way, let's get to the new updates. And what happened is pretty much the chibi fans were seething. The chibi generals, the top ones were seething. They were desperate because Deme doesn't look like a hypocrite. People already debunked all their fucking claims. So that led to them looking back at her internet history, looking hard, and they did find a picture of her. And she's fat. That's what I'm gonna say. She's just a fat ass. She's a fat bitch. She's obese. She's part of the high-calorie humans. But there's nothing really special. So they had to dig deeper, right? They had to dig deep to find that one gem after, like, you know, finding a bunch of coal. And let me tell you this. They found one massive piece of gem. Like, this is the rarest gem they will ever find. It's massive. The best gem found in Africa. And what could that be? Well, they found a stream. And let me tell you this, it's not any ordinary stream. It's a pretty interesting stream. So let's watch it right now.
Whoa, what the fuck is going on here? Of course. This? Of course!
Ooh, you're being a little too excited, seeing nothing. What could that be? And I do not play this game, okay? I just don't give a shit about the game. Maybe she is seeing something exclusive, something special in the game, or maybe something is clicking in her. Maybe there's something clicking behind her, but something is impressing her. Maybe it's off screen.
Yes! I have bad news, Evans. Yarrow says that was a problem with the proposed power source, so the orbital probe cannon won't be asked if— wow, I cannot fucking read, dude.
Maybe there's a way to actually make you read better. Let's think about it. Maybe if you just remove that cock out of your fucking ass, maybe you'll start reading better.
Dude, I was like actually like grade 1 level of like reading, dude. Oh my god, dude, shit. Oh my god. I just need to like calm down.
Yeah, that's totally gonna work. Totally not like someone just fucking you in the ass. Maybe just like, you know, breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. Maybe that will work, okay? Maybe the cock is not the one that's actually the problem. I think it's just you a little stressed. Maybe the game is just making you work a little bit hard in the brain.
I'm calm now. I hope you're pulling my my. This is so fucking. Read slower? You just gotta lock in, dude. Okay, sorry. I hope you're pulling my locomotive limb here, Casava. Oh, I think I just have to go more American, sorry. I wish I were, my friend, but no. They aren't certain that they can fix the problem, so the orbital probe cannon is on an indefinite hiatus. Whoa! I suddenly can read really properly, what the fuck?
Yeah, maybe the actual solution to you, being able to read better is probably removing that dick out of your ass, but that doesn't really last that long, I'll tell you that for sure.
Why is everything going black?
Whoa, did we just see a streamer die? Did we just fucking see that, did you just get a stroke mid-stream, like, what the fuck's happening here? Genuinely, I don't believe that's, the sex allegation that people are constantly saying, but something is happening over there. Did some magician came in and just casted a spell that made her heart stop? What the fuck happened there?
I need to keep on sight everything that's already still here.
Yeah, I never knew, those times, right, when the thunderstorm's happening, it just frightens you. Instead of, screaming normally or, just being a little frightened, oh, shit, what the fuck is that? No, you moan like you're coming, and then you start speaking like a fucking robot. Did that shit scare her so fucking much that she just reverted? She reversed back speaking, and she started actually speaking like a robot. Maybe Deme was a robot all along. Maybe that's the true plot twist. She was the biggest bot.
You can't kill me. I'm in a ship, you fuck.
Yeah, man, when you're in those missions, you have to kill these big monsters. The best thing you could do to win the mission is to do retard faces. You just have to do it, okay? Nobody is you're a retard if you don't do retard faces, okay? You're an absolute fucking idiot. You have to do it because that's the easiest way to beat the boss. Wait, did she actually just suck a dick? Is she grabbing a penis there? Is she grabbing Hawk? Is she grabbing something? And yeah, it looks like it's undeniable, right? From the clips I'm showing you guys right now, right? She looks like she's having sex on stream. She's having sexual intercourse of some sort. And it would have been funny, right? It would have been really hilarious. I've been laughing my ass off, but sadly, it is actually not true. It's been debunked. And I'm not going to use that one Twitter post that this person did trying to say, oh yeah, the boyfriend was in a different room during the time when that stream was made while the person was lying about it. I'm not going to use that. That person's a piece of shit. I don't like using false information, but this clip specifically from this stream probably is not her having sex. And there are issues with it if you actually use brain cells with this claim. And one of the main ones that brings up to my head, or anyone that actually has a high IQ or a normal IQ, is that if you're claiming to have sex on stream, and if that is the claim, it's pretty hard to have intercourse like that if you're sitting down. Isn't when you have sex you have to be lying down or some sort of like that? It just doesn't make any sense. Even if she is lying down like Mr. Medicare when he's doing his streams, wouldn't you be hearing bed noises or even hearing the guy grunt? None of it really makes any sense. Even with the clip of her looking like she's sucking a dick, it is completely impossible for that to even happen because she has a monitor, she has a computer. For that to even fucking happen, the guy has to jump up on the desk, pull down his fucking pants and show his cock, and that would make some sort of noise. That's not a silent thing to happen. And another interesting thing is that if you're getting fucked in the ass, that will make it harder for you to even fucking speak. Like, even if she's fucking up on stream, right? Like slurring words or saying shit in a weird manner, it's very obvious that she's an entertainer. Like, there's motherfuckers that do that all the fucking time, and it's crazy. Like, nobody ever sees her streams, and I decided to look at a couple of them, and that's how she acts. And even with the slurring the words, she's not even American, she's Filipino. So obviously she's gonna fuck up. So it's like, it's very obvious to explain all of this away. And even the clips I showed you, some of it was out of context. Like the first clip that I showed you guys, the reason why she said it in that way, in that very sexual, very horny way, was because in the beginning of the clip originally, before that, she decided to make a joke saying it sounds erotic, and that's what she attempted to do, and, you know, led to her fucking up a lot, right? So in the end, sadly, no matter what, even if you hate Deme, right? You hate this bitch to the core, you believe she needed to whore herself out, no matter what, we have to admit that this is false. It's not a real claim, and the sex never fucking happened. And like, maybe somebody could explain to me that it did happen. It actually did. Okay? Like, you could explain it to me that, yeah, the sex happened, but for me, I'm not convinced. And some of you guys may be saying, okay, why did she act the way she did? Like I said originally, she's an entertainer, or she could just be a little excited that day, or be on fucking drugs. I don't know. Okay? But because there's a bunch of chibi retards that they don't care about logic and they don't care about the truth, they're willing to spread shit, even if they know it's false. They pushed the narrative. They pushed it pretty far. Like, everybody now believes it happened. Like, there's only very few, the few minority of us, yeah, we're oppressed here. It's an oppressed group of us that believe that it just didn't happen, okay? And it was pushed so hard that it led to Deme needing to respond to the sex stream of the supposed sex stream. And here's her response. And you can see over here, Deme says, if I was crazy enough to fuck on stream, I'd at least have an OnlyFans to bait engagement. Stop forcing your cuck fantasies on other. My ass is too fat to move that little. And yeah, she's pretty much saying, yeah, I would have had sex on stream, bitch. If I did, I would make an OnlyFans, bitch, or something like that. But it's kind of crazy that she kind of over here admits to, like, her boyfriend having a small penis by saying to move my ass too fat to move that little dick of your boyfriend or some shit. Like, what the fuck? But yeah, this is where she could just shut the fuck up, because after this is where the L's began. This is where, like, she starts receiving, like, the most massive L. And you know what that could be? You know what the L that's so massive you cannot recover from? Well, it's apologizing to the cuckold himself, Chibi Reviews. Yeah, I'd rather suck dick from a homeless man before I need to apologize to Chibi Reviews, okay? Like, if you're gonna do that, you're like low. You lost respect to me. You're not human anymore. But don't worry, let's read the apology that she decided to do to the cuckold pedophile. I was ready to genuinely take this to the ground because of the idea that why should I ever feel bad being rude to someone who's a piece of shit? Like, no, like, if you know the person's evil, just don't apologize to them. Like, if there's a person I don't like and I still don't feel regret at anything I've said to this individual, I would just not apologize, because I feel gay if I'm gonna apologize to something that I just don't know what I did wrong. And here she's admitting that she hasn't done anything wrong, but she's still gonna apologize to him, the cuckold pedophile. Deme, you're apologizing to a cuckold pedophile. It's like apologizing to Epstein, dude. But let's continue here. After some reflection, the thought occurred to me, do I really want to go as low as him? Yes! Just do it. What's the point? You call him a cuck, you're already there. You're already as low. Like, if you start, like, hurling insults at each other, you already decided to play that game. What are you saying? And over here, she decides to continue saying, and the answer was no. Like I said, you should. If you're just gonna hurl insults at people, no matter what, you should stay that fucking low, okay? Like, if I'm gonna start insulting motherfuckers, I would just fuck around with them. I just don't give a shit. I said what I said because I personally think there is no scenario that a friend group chooses the side of a fiance that cheats. I can't even fathom friends siding with a cheater. So then why did you decide to say that? Like, bro, just shut the fuck up. Stop being this morally righteous person saying, oh my god, cheating is bad. Like, yeah, cheating is bad. So totally a hot take. Okay, like, if you're just gonna insult him further, just do it. Don't apologize to it, bitch. However, would I have brought it up if I knew he was suicidal because of it? No. There's no way you could call him a cuckold without knowing about the other contexts. There's no fucking way. That drama was massive. I admitted the previous tweets, so why didn't I apologize? Because you don't feel regret for it. Like, if people don't apologize for it, that means they don't regret it. Like, you don't regret it, and you still don't regret it to this day. Because he's this and that and blah. But I thought about it, and that kind of ideology is quite harmful. I knew it was wrong, and I admit that twice, but I didn't apologize. So after reflection, I am sorry. I'm sorry for bringing up a memory that made someone suicidal. It was a low blow, even if I don't know, regardless of whether he was intentionally being a piece of shit, he was, I don't want to stoop to his level. I'd rather be better and learn from my mistakes. And that is the Deme apology. And what is my take on that? Well, what I believe is that she should have never apologized. Like, some of it sounds like bullshit, like her saying that, like, oh, I didn't know about the suicidal shit. I just know about the cuck stuff. Like, if you know about the cuck stuff, you should have known about the suicide shit. Like, I think it's bullshit there. But it more like seems that she wanted to, dumb down or, like, try to control the situation because she was getting harassed by many Chibi fans, something that, the Chibi fans will constantly say they're against. They're always against harassment. Then when someone says something that they don't like, they'll go harass them, go after them, and all that type of stuff. So that was her attempt. And like I said again, just don't apologize to these people because these people will never accept you, they'll never like you, and they'll never care about you. They don't give a shit what you say, if you take accountability. No, they want you to do humiliation rituals, so they jack off to that shit. That's what they want, and that's what I believe. And that's why she should have never done it. It was gay, and that's it. But a special cuckold saw this, and Chibiru saw it with his grubby little hands and decided to say his take on the apology. And over here, Chibi says, after days of doubling down, Deme has finally decided to apologize to me at the end of her latest tweet. Before she did that, however, she made sure to call me a piece of shit along with a few other things, despite saying she won't stoop low. Progress, I guess. And like, that is fair. That's actually fair criticism. If you're saying you're not going to stoop to that low, don't call him a piece of shit. Just say like, okay, this guy was suicidal. This guy was in a bad mental space. Maybe that makes sense why he acts the way he does. Like, if you truly believe that you don't want to stoop to that low, that's what you should have said. But no, you call him a piece of shit. You said all these insults still to him. Like, sorry, I had to give Chibi Reviews the dub here. You are being a fucking hypocrite here. This is obviously not sincere. You obviously don't believe you have done anything wrong. And later on, there's a tweet that I was planning to originally read where Chibi Reviews leaked some DMs, leaked like a public Discord server, some shit. Pretty much like Deme saying something else, but we will get that when we watch the video. But before we watch the video, right? Look at that fucking thumbnail. Look at it. Pretty much trying to say like, oh, VTuber thinks that it was actually funny me attempted to commit suicide. This person really thinks it's funny. This person's evil. Even if Deme actually never did that, he just called you a fucking cuck. But you could see how obviously bad faith Chibi Reviews is. And this is pretty much him with every single drama he has been involved in. He's always been in bad faith. He's always been a piece of shit. And that's why I despise this guy. I genuinely do. But let's actually watch the video, and let me tell you this, the beginning part we will skip because it's pretty much him explaining the drama in the most autistic way possible, in an incredibly bad faith way too, but like there's no point in watching it. So let's get to the important parts.
So, before I give my answer, there's a few things I'm just going to put and explain on screen here. First off, we gotta talk about her previous post and what she's even talking about. Her previous tweet when she basically said she didn't want to apologize to me. So this is the tweet she was talking about. Basically where she was basically labeling me a pedo. She was labeling me a rapist, and all sorts of other accusations, false accusations that is Kiwi Farms speech. Basically, the same type of cyber stalking, harassing group that likes to ruin people's lives and even swats them. She was using their exact same wording and rhetoric in this post.
I just like how every single thing Chibi Reviews does, he always has to make it about the Kiwi Farms, like with the internet anarchist drama, where for no reason he decided to say internet anarchist got his sources from Kiwi Farms, even if you check the description, he never did that. He never sourced Kiwi Farms. He never even admits it, but he always has to assume it, and he's doing the exact same shit with Deme, trying to say, see guys, see, this bitch right here is using stuff that the Kiwi Farms would say. Call me a rapist, call me a pedo, saying that shit's false. And let me tell you this, Cheapy, what's false about it? Like, what's false about you marrying or dating an 18-year-old while you're in your 30s? But you know what's crazy about this shit? The craziest part? He says that she accuses him of being a pedophile and a rapist. And with the pedophile shit, I could see the implication with the 1830. But the interesting thing is that she never accuses him of being a rapist. And let me read an excerpt of that from the original tweet. Here, this is the part where she actually accuses him of shit. And over here, Deme says, I had no idea that Chibi Reviews tried to take his own life, and I don't wish that upon anyone. As I said before, I don't care about the guy in general. I'm not gonna apologize to a guy who dated a teen when he's pushing 30. He scammed his fans of thousands of dollars of a lawsuit that never happened. Never in my life have I heard of people siding with a cheating future wife in any scenario, to be honest. Yeah, I'm not surprised the guy doesn't understand boundaries and consent. It's like, she never really calls him a full-on rapist. Like, what she pretty much tried to accuse him of is just a wife beater, because that's who he fucking is. He beat his fucking wife, and his wife actually provided evidence for this type of shit, something she couldn't. But you could see the way he purposely misinterprets stuff. You know why? Because he knows his audience don't watch his fucking videos, because his videos are shit. He knows that, because he knows 90% of his audience, right? They watch it in the background, something to listen to. So he knows that his audience won't read the tweets. So he could portray them any way he wants to. And he obviously knows his fans are incredibly parasocial to him. They won't question Chibi Reviews at all, because for them, it's like questioning God for some fucking reason. They see him as a religious figure. And that's why he portrays people in the worst way possible. And I like how he portrays the Kiwi Farms like a bunch of other people do it, right? Saying that they're harassment site, they're a doxing site, they do life ruination, all that type of stuff. The problem is, there's only one truth in that, the doxing part. Yeah, that it has been a very big criticism with the Kiwi Farms. But let me tell you something very interesting with the Kiwi Farms. The harassment part is not even true. The funny thing about the Kiwi Farms is that they actually disavow harassment, and they disavow that type of gay op shit. They never accept that type of shit. Like, even in their own rules, when you try to comment something there, it will literally tell you that, hey, we don't allow that type of shit. If you have any stalker plans, don't do it fucking here. We don't like that type of shit. Like, you see what I'm saying? But Chibi Reviews obviously knows, like, he already scared 90% of his fans out of Kiwi Farms. So he could just lie about the site when he wants to. And that's my biggest issue with Chibi. He constantly does this shit. And nobody questions him, because you cannot question the God Chibi, the gospel. He's literally the reincarnation of Jesus Christ, Chibi Reviews. You cannot question him. He's God himself. And also, he attempted to commit suicide. And he had a tragic thing happen to his life, so we can't make fun of him. Everyone had a tragic thing happening in their fucking lives. It's not just Chibi Reviews that's the special one. He's the special one we can't make fun of.
And I would like to remind everybody, up to this very point, right now, the only thing I said to her was that she was a virtue signaler. To laugh at my misfortune, being cheated on, my friend group abandoning me, then on top of that, basically calling me a pedo. Well, she did. I mean, she posted a fake tweet here. She called me a pedo. She called me a rapist. And then she basically did not take any statements of these back. She didn't even apologize for this. Even in her apology tweet, she didn't even mention this and say how wrong this was. These false allegations against me that have literally no proof whatsoever.
That sounds really similar to someone else who has done the exact same shit, and it's really rich from Chibi Reviews to say like, oh, she's spreading misinformation about other people and she never apologized for it. She's using fake tweets. And you know what's really funny about this? Chibi has done the exact same shit that right now he is saying to Deme. Like, remember when he immediately saw someone using a tweet of internet anarchists pretty much looking like a fucking pedophile, and he used that immediately and said like, look at this person, he's a pedophile. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, I know he apologized for that one, but it's like, what about the other cases with it? What about with Diesel Patches when he attempted to get a video and put it in an incredibly out of context way to make it look like Diesel Patches is a hypocrite that loves Lolicon himself, even if that video was a joke video. And Jibruz lied about what the comments said, even if that video was unlisted. How would he know that? And he never provides evidence for any of it. And he has never apologized to Diesel Patches. What about when he reposted the false allegations against Schlepp when they were trying to say he was friends with a pedophile, he swept for that pedophile and all that type of stuff? He reposted that, and he has never apologized to Schlepp. What about when he decided to comment on Alex Rosen looking like he's a pedophile, even if it was very obviously a trolling attempt and it was an out of context video? And there's a lot more cases of it. But the problem is, none of these he ever apologized for, and he never addressed it. The only one he did was the internet anarchist one, because he was absolutely getting destroyed for that one. You see what I'm saying? And even recently with Deme, he has used fake tweets of Deme to go after her. You see what I'm saying? It is incredibly rich for him to say shit like this while he's also participating in this type of slanderous behavior.
Which is outright insane. But it doesn't just stop there. This tweet that she made, she edited it, which you probably have seen Rev already cover this, and I covered it in a previous video, but she edited it to remove the fake tweet but kept everything the same, and her apology, so to speak, people like to say, is that I had to update the tweet since I didn't want to spread misinformation. My bad on that. But she's still spreading misinformation.
Chibi, if you want her to apologize for spreading misinformation, go apologize to Schlepp, apologize to Alex Rosen, and apologize to Diesel Patches. The only person you have ever apologized to was internet anarchist, Chibi. And also, again, what makes what she said fake? I want you to explain it.
But anyways, after this post, she went to her Discord, and this is what she said in her public Discord after that post I just showed you. I think people misunderstand my post or want to change it to something they want to believe in. I want to know y'all's thoughts. People are telling me I'm a hypocrite for advocating men's health, but not caring for this content creator's chibis. I feel like both can coexist, LMFAO. Just because you advocate something doesn't mean it's on a case-on-case basis. I do not care of chibi, doesn't mean I don't care of people's mental health. Okay, after the convo with the Discord, what I did was unnecessary, and honestly, I didn't even do it for clout. I literally just got baited from seeing his name. Really? You didn't do this for clout.
And this is where like Chibi kind of gets a W, okay? Everyone's saying I'm not doing this for clout. Sorry. Even if it's for good intentions, you're doing it for attention. Okay? Even if you're actually doing it with your heart in it, you want the attention from it. I just hate it with all these people saying like, oh, I'm doing this. I'm saying, mental health awareness month. Like, I support it, and I'm not doing this for attention. No, you're doing it for attention because if you weren't doing it for attention, you just do it in silent. You wouldn't fucking say it out loud like, oh, I'm supporting this shit. I'm supporting this shit. So Chibi has a W over there.
Here's the image. She posted this as well on her official Twitter, linking that she was going to address the drama. And you've seen probably Rev and other content creators already comment on this, but that link she posted to a Twitch stream that supposedly was to address the drama was basically her 24/7 VOD stream. That is just reruns of her content. And the interesting part, prior to this, she literally condemned farming and basically trying to content farm and engagement farm. But she turns around and does that hours later, which basically implies that she's once again another hypocrite. So we have multiple different showcasings of being a hypocrite. Not just with like the whole NSFW thing, but just different things. Men's mental health to basically engagement farming, and then also basically the stuff with NSFW. We have now multiple examples. And that's not even getting into the Twitch stream.
It's crazy how he calls her an attention whore for this action specifically. But you know what's really funny, Chibi? That wasn't for attention, you know? You know what that was actually for? Just to fuck around with the people who were pretty much harassing her. It was pretty much for that to, like, you know, trick to, like, hey, I actually apologize, dude. Click this link, and then it just sends it to bullshit. Chibi? But it's funny how he's, like, so small. We found more hypocrisy. You know what's really funny with you? You're also a massive hypocrite with you being anti-harassment. While your audience constantly harasses people, you are anti-censorship. While you were exposed to be in chats advocating for censorship and mass flagging, you constantly say you're anti-fucking slander. While you constantly slander people all the time, and how you're against misinformation while you constantly spread misinformation. You can't call anyone a hypocrite if you're also a fucking hypocrite yourself, Chibi.
So, this is what she said. She basically said she doesn't care about my mental health, she doesn't care about me or anything like that, and she heard about the situation, but she doesn't care. That's what she said in these Discord messages. And then we had this, which was the follow-up to the apology.
And this is where we get to the DM leaks, the Deme leaks, the ultimate leaks of them all that pretty much Chibi attempts to portray that she's this two-faced piece of shit. So let's actually read them, okay? Because something he doesn't do that much, he doesn't read the full thing. So let's read them ourselves. And over here you could see Deme in her public Discord says this. So I don't really give a shit about randoms that I don't even recognize the names of. So literally doesn't worry about me. I'm FAO. Okay, so very obviously here she's trying to say, okay, I don't give a shit about like random people, okay? I don't care. I don't know them. And does that show any two-face? Not really. Is she shitting on Chibi saying I don't give a shit about what I said to him? Not really. She's pretty much just saying I don't give a fuck about his fans. That's it. Not any two-face shit over here. But let's continue. And you can see that she sends a picture. And then over here, after saying random bullshit, she says, I'm seeing a lot of messages here in the Discord. It was never for them. They would have never been any of my viewers. Look at any of their profiles. Realize that I angered the group of people that I would have banned in my chat. Literally. Anyways, literally, I did this apology not only for me, for my community to be able to move on. So here specifically, she again says she's not apologizing to the Chibi Review fans because she knows that these people will never be her type of people to watch her content. And these are the type of people she will ban. Not any two-face. And there is kind of something there where she says like, oh, I actually did this for my community to like, you know, try to move on from the situation and try to address it. And that is something she did in her apology. She never really like, you know, said like, I apologize to all the Chibi fans. Not really. She never really said that. She says like, I apologize for being very responsible for what I did and going as low. Was it a perfect apology? Not really. But it doesn't really contradict or doesn't really go with the narrative saying that she's a two-faced piece of shit. But let's continue. And over here she says, I personally think I can genuinely think someone else is a piece of shit while realizing I'm in the wrong for doing something too. This goes consistent with what she said originally, that she still hates Chibi, but the way she handled it was in the worst way possible and she should have handled it professionally. No two-face to be seen here. I don't know why people say that she's being two-faced. How like she's saying like two different things, even if you start thinking about it, it's all the same thing. But then we get to the DM that she sent to Chibi. And it looks like she apologized to him behind the scenes. And over here you could see Deme says, Chibi, genuinely my bad for making you remember something that traumatized you. I had no idea when I made that first message. And even if I believe this is bullshit and that she probably knew, but this still goes with her first apology, saying that she doesn't like making fun of suicide and that she doesn't really like making fun of things that traumatize people. That still goes with what she originally said. And this narrative that she's like this two-faced and she didn't really meant it is bullshit. Because if you actually read it instead of just hearing from Chibi reviews, you see that it doesn't really change her opinion. Her opinion never really changed. She still has the same take as her apology. But it's just like the way he portrays it, saying she's saying three complete different things, even if it's all the same thing.
And look, let's finally get into the whole, do I accept this as an apology? So, I'm a very forgiving person. I am. Like, I do believe in second chances. I believe that if someone apologized to me, I would accept it. I've done it before. There's quite a few people that have outright hated me and have slandered me. They apologized to me, and I let bygones be bygones. It's happened. And that was it. We never brought it up again. So, however, this situation is very troublesome for me. And the reason for that is because I was going to just be like, I know you're not sincere. but let it go because of the private DM afterwards. But when I found out in the middle of this, when this private DM was made prior to this, or after this, she made those Discord messages, basically saying that it wasn't for me, the apology or anything. It more or less is a statement that this is just all fake. Now, obviously it is, but yeah, come on. She only apologized because of just the overwhelming backlash that she has gotten in the last week. And so, obviously the reason why it was made was because of the pressure. But she couldn't even say, I'm sorry. She said, my bad. She didn't apologize for the pedo accusations, me being basically a rapist or anything like that, any of the slander. She just said,
I just like with GB reviews, he just loves the word slander. And I like how he says like everybody slanders him. Everything people say is bullshit, even if it's all true and people could actually verify that shit and you have never debunked it. And it's crazy that if so many people are saying the exact same shit about you, being a scammer, being a pedophile, being a wife beater, pretty much is the entire internet saying that, there's probably truth in it. And you're probably fucked, and you're probably trying to find a way to say it's not true. But I just like the part where he portrays those messages I read, trying to say like, oh, she said that she wasn't apologizing to me, she doesn't give a shit about me, even if she clearly said that she's not apologizing to Chibi's fans. She's just trying to solve the situation, something very mature. Not like what Chibi Reviews does, acts like a fucking man-child. Like he does with every single fucking...
my dad and all that, and that's basically it. And in her public post, that was multiple paragraphs, by the way, she decided to throw shots at me, say I'm a piece of shit, and everything else in between. So, it's very clear there was no intent of apology. It's better than nothing. Okay. It's better than zero. She tried. Felt badly, obviously, but she tried. And I give some gratitude to some effort that was made on that. The problem, though, is that when you make this type of statement, you make that public statement, and you make the Discord statement, there is just multiple different masks on. It's not the same type of message you're conveying, and it leans more towards very disingenuous and insincere than anything else. And so I would have kept it as this, but thanks to her statements, and quote-unquote her own words as well, public Discord, so everybody should have seen that. It wasn't a private conversation between a few people, it was a public Discord that she was posting those thoughts. I don't know why she would do something like that so publicly when she's trying to potentially make peace with someone. That is not a very smart move, I'm gonna be honest with you. So, anyways, do I accept it? Look at the thumbnail. No.
You see the reason why I read the messages? Because if we were gonna react to the part where he was reading it himself, he would portray it in a completely different way. And from when I read it, you see that she wasn't saying three completely different things. All of it was pretty much the exact same shit she was constantly saying. It's just crazy how he portrays it in a completely different way, because he knows his audience wouldn't look at the DMs. They wouldn't. So, he's just being a piece of shit again. Being a disingenuous sack of shit. And it's funny, in the end he says, I don't accept the apology. It's like, well, it's just his decision. He doesn't have to accept it, so who gives a fuck about that part? So, yeah.
I don't accept the apology. If she would have said something like this, even I know that this isn't sincere, maybe I would have left it at that. But everything else, no. Just say I'm sorry. It's that simple. It's two words. I'm sorry. I know it's so hard to say because pride and ego is such a big thing, especially for content creators. I know that. I know how the internet works. When you apologize, you get eaten alive. It's the truth.
Yeah, it's very easy for you to say that because you never apologize for any of the things you have ever done, like scamming people from the GoFundMe to sue the detractors, apologizing to Schlapp, apologizing to Diesel Patches. Like, very obviously you know about that shit because you have a massive ego. You genuinely believe. And later on, he's gonna actually show his ego who he thinks he is.
It is the truth, okay? I understand that. There's a reason why you just don't bend the knee. But there is also times where you have to be humble. And I have apologized for things I have done.
No, you never really did. Like, the Diesel Patches videos is still up of you literally trying to say that he's into lolicon and that he's a hypocrite on using out of context videos that were taken down and lying about it fully about the context of the video. You never really apologized to Schlepp for spreading misinformation and reposting that misinformation. You never really did any of that. Like, what are you saying, Chibi? You never did that. I can't think of any example of you ever apologizing to anybody for the shit you have done to other people. You didn't even apologize to your wife. You never did. Like, shut the fuck up. Stop being this fucking moral fag about everything. You never did. And I just love how much he lies and lies and lies. But his audience believes it. They eat it up.
there is circumstances. Obviously, if she apologized to me, would that stop everything? No, it wouldn't. I'm not naive. I don't live in a fantasy land to say that.
You do. You genuinely believe that the Kiwi Farms is gonna start a GoFundMe to fund black people to rape you. You genuinely did believe that and use it as an example of that they're going after you, okay? Like, you also believe that Fantasyland bullshit, and the shit that he's gonna say later proves that.
She would still be getting attacked by people online. This drama, truthfully, will follow her for the rest of her career. It's the truth. Just as how that everything with me, with my personal stuff, will follow me for the rest of my time online, what happened here will follow her. That's content creation. The internet will not let you forget. So even if she was to apologize to me, people, that wouldn't be enough for them. Even if it was enough for me, it wouldn't be enough for them.
Yeah, that's called harassment. Yeah, you literally led a harassment campaign, but he doesn't want to say it. He doesn't want to say the name harassment. He doesn't want to say the word harassment, because if he does say that this harassment's happening to her, that would contradict everything he has been saying about how harassment's bad. But it's crazy how, in this video, he never said to anybody that, please don't go after her, please don't do it. No, he never said it. He just said, well, that's how the internet works. But when it's on him, he cries victim. He's a little bitch, saying that, oh, my life is under attack. My house is under attack. They're swatting me. They're these evil pieces of shit. Even if people told him constantly that's how the internet works, he says that's not how it should work. But when it's other people, now that's how the internet works. Very interesting.
Dude. How do I have, like, this power to just get people to just self-destruct, man? Like, I it feels like I have, like, an aura of aggro. Like, I aggro people, like you are in a game. Like an MMO or something. Like, I aggro people so effectively. Like, I'm just a dude that posts, and I aggro people to such a violent and extreme manner to where they slip. Like, their mask and everything just flies on off.
Everyone that has ever said anything to you just called you a cuck or a pedophile. Nobody has ever acted violent towards you. No one really said that this guy needs to die, this needs to get murdered. Like, yeah, there are random Twitter people saying, like, this guy thinks he deserves to live, or this guy thinks he deserves a life or some shit like that. But, like, nobody, like, no big content creator has ever said that to you. They just call you a cuck. But it's crazy that he genuinely thinks like, oh yeah, every single time I'm in this argument, I'm the one winning. Because I make these people crash out and pretty much remove their masks. I'm winning. It's like that meme with the guy pissing himself in a pool. Everyone's laughing at him, but then like he thinks he's the guy winning and not everybody. But it's like, Chibi, who the fuck do you think you are? Because the only guy self-destructing is you. Every single controversy you're in, you always crash the fuck out, you self-destruct, act like a little bitch victim, talking about the harassment, how they're harassing you and all this type of shit. You're that guy. You always spiral. Okay? You always act like a little bitch every single time. But yeah, that was that video he did. And now we get to the conclusion of this video. And what is my take on all this? Well, first of all, Deme should have just never apologized to this guy. This guy, no matter what, even if you had good intentions and you genuinely believed that you did something wrong and you wanted to apologize to Chibi Reviews to do something right for once, he would not accept that at all. Instead, he will go after you. He'll have his fucking people go to your Discord to make sure like he finds anything to call you a hypocrite for, and then he'll still go after you no matter what. That's what Chibi Reviews says. And he's always been like this. Every controversy that I cover of this guy, he always does this to every person. He's always in bad faith, he always slanders them, and he always has his people go after them. Okay? And that's gonna be always my take with this guy. He's just a piece of shit. And that's what he really is. A piece of shit bum of society. And Deme should have never apologized to him. And also, we showed how much of a hypocrite he really is. Every value that he had, him saying that he's anti-harassment, anti-slander, and anti-misinformation. He immediately participates in misinformation, he participates in slander, and then he participates in harassment campaigns. You see that he doesn't really believe in what he believes. He's just a fucking grifter Or he just wants to feel special because he lives such a fucking lonely life with no friends and probably very little family supports him. So yeah, that's my take on all this shit, and I think that's all we got to say for today. So I hope all you guys give this video a like, subscribe to the Mr. Zombie Army. We need to get to 300, 1,000, 1 billion subs. We need to get to high numbers, okay? We need to get there soon, okay? And also leave a comment. You could say whatever the fuck you want. You could say, hey, Mr. Zombie, you piece of shit. Fuck you. Or you could say, you know what? Chibiris is a hypocrite piece of shit and he's a cock. You can say whatever the fuck you want. I don't care. This is a free speech comment section. Something that the quarter doesn't like. And I think after that, I hope all you guys have a really, really great June, a really great summer, and a really great day. And goodbye.